people who worked out to 4:30 to 7:30 sessions during night hour because of transportation and many reasons. So how all the clubs there were only boys, and then slowly boys there are plenty of things what they'll be busy with. So somehow all these things happened, but I would say I'm really happy that the clubs are really active now. Electronics club when we were there 13 to 15. Okay, I was not part of electronics club, but my friends were actually heading the club, and it was really doing fantastic job at that time. Robotics club, electronics club were like and there were plenty of fests. I would talk more about the fest, cultural fest, or maybe tech fest, whatever you take. There used to be at least 9 fests. 7 to 9. I don't know how many they are conducting now. How many are they conducting now? Maybe last year or
Around 4 to 5 like that.
or
I mean,
okay, all cult fests or tech fests?
both, sir. Tech fests are like related to club wise. I will conduct
Yeah, yeah.
separately.
So is TEC organizing any fest now?
Yeah, sir. We'll be
Wow.
organizing project expos and all.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. That's good. So how are you doing the project work? Are you getting, from where are you getting the material and all? How are you doing the prototyping right now? The club members, third year, fourth years, whoever it is.
Previously, like before the pandemic, we would divide the project work into 2 phases, sir. Like the phase 1
Mhm.
and phase 2. In a semester, we'll be doing 2 phases. So,
Okay.
like the seniors will be guiding us, and then we'll be performing. As it is
Okay.
pandemic, and then we would conduct a project expo showing all our projects and like new innovations, etc. Because of this pandemic, we are simulating this online, like
Got it.
using
Got it.
Tinkercad and
So
all.
which year are you in now? Right now?
I'm third year student, sir.
Okay. 3-2, 3-1,
3-2, sir. Like
3-2.
3-1 exams are not yet done, but still.
Okay, okay. Understood. So are many expected to join?
Amit is with us.
Or shall we start?
Hey, hi, good afternoon, Chanakya.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How are things with you?
Excellent, excellent. So I thank all the student and faculty team to organize this session today. And if we are ready to start, maybe one of you can read his profile. But before we do that, I have a very special association with Chanakya. He is one of the first students who has, I think, done the IoT project in the entire campus. Am I right?
Yes, 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 sir.
So he has done one logistics based IoT project, and this was almost, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. I
Yeah.
think that was his industrial mini project. And that time
Yes.
itself, I was very impressed about the good work he has been doing, especially on the technical side. And then we got associated to numerous other projects. I was their advisor for their uh, Texas Instruments challenge,
Innovation challenge project.
innovation challenge, where they participated. Then, as a president for Robotics Club, there were many other initiatives we have taken. But most importantly, there are two that are very notable. One is the IoT project, consultancy project we have taken up for nucleonic systems, where
Yeah.
the idea was to augment the existing radiation detectors as an IoT enabled product so that anywhere within the world, their device could be the updated data could be fetched, and the device itself could be updated, and then even alerts could be sent to any other device. And then we had also created a very good backend data analytics, right, using
Yes, 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 yes.
Microsoft Azure.
Azure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this was all like a learning experience for myself as well as for the team. So, and another big project that we worked together was on developing intelligent robotic arm that was for Center of Advanced Systems, DRDO. And he was the first batch of student who started working on it. And I think by that time he was already on he was in final year. And
Yeah.
so initial design and in fact a good presentation he had given to the DRDO team. I think this would be the first time where student team has given a presentation to get a project, and they were really impressed, and that's how we got the project to develop that intelligent robotic arm. And then another important event that we conducted together was having this 3D printing international symposium that we conducted, where my PhD advisor from US, Dr. Eric McDonald, he had visited our campus. And then entirely, I think Robotics Club has done an excellent job of organizing that event that was led by Chanakya. So there are many good associations and collaborative work that we have done. And now I'm very proud of him because he's actually, to tell you to all the students, he's more like an idol student to me because he got a job offer at Infosys. Is it right, Chanakya?
Yeah, Infosys and then Microsoft.
Yeah, he got jobs at both these two big companies, but his passion towards working for a startup and developing some products, that's what led him to join Maker Hive. And I'm glad that he has developed India's first fully functional bionic arm at an economical price. And many dignitaries of India have validated the product, inaugurated the product. Recently, I think our Honorable Vice President, Sri Venkaiah Naidu, has blessed the product. And right now it is already making commercial progress. They have got good project orders from Bangladesh, and even Tirupati, I think that is being freely distributed. Am I right?
Yes, freely distributed.
Yeah. So a lot of good work he has done, and I feel like our students should take him as an inspiration. And today's session is very apt for him because he has been working on product development, and throughout his student life also he has done a lot of prototype development. And so I hope this will be a very learning session to all of you. So thank you, Chanakya, again for accepting our invite.
Thank you, sir.
I remember once you told me that, see, this is kind of the things that students should look forward to, right? Or that passion you should have. I remember once he told me, sir, I want a feeling that whenever I enter any session or I enter any address any group of people, I should get that ovation where they should feel like they are very proud of me and they should be very much interested to engage with me. That rockstar kind of welcome he wanted. So you got it, Chanakya. We are very proud of you. Unfortunately, we have to do this online. Otherwise, I'm sure all students will be cheering and giving you a lot of applause for being our star student. Okay. So over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, Namrata,
thank you for
please.
Thank you for addressing, sir. So now we are having here our friend Sairaj to give a little introduction.
Namrata.
Yes,
Namrata,
sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Just interrupting. Two more things I would like to say.
Yeah, sir.
See, whatever I told about Chanakya, right? I want to have that kind of a feeling with each and every student. Okay. I want to boast about all our students once they graduate, some great things they have done. So please, I request all of our students to have that kind of inspiration, aspiration. Okay. Sorry, I may not be able to be there for the entire session. I have some important emails to send, but I'll be there for the beginning part. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes, sir. So here we have our friend Sairaj to give a little introduction. Hello, Sai.
So hello. Yes, Namrata.
Yep.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, sure.
Yeah. So good afternoon, one and all. Respected dignitaries of the Srinidhi Hub, participants, respected Chief Guest Chanakya Gone Garu, and all the participants who are here, a warm welcome to the workshop on process design and prototype development. So this workshop is conducted by Trinity Hub in association with the Electronics Club and Institute's Innovation Council. So here about the speaker, Chanakya Gone Garu. He's the CTO, Chief Technology Officer at Makers Hive Innovations Private Limited. He's a robotics enthusiast with 4 years of industrial experience on end-to-end product development and management. He worked with startups, MNCs for developing solutions related to Internet of Things, enterprise applications, machine learning, electromechanical systems, UI, UX designs, mobile applications, industrial product design, and he's a professional with experience in strategic thinking, workflow management, design thinking, project management, and set up technology roadmap. And as a student at SNIST, he was a quarter finalist of Texas Instrument National Level Innovation Challenge, TIC 2016. He was a semi-finalist at Atmel ADC National Level Embedded Design Contest, and he was also a quarter finalist for National Level NI Innovation Challenge. He received a gold medal for the overall best student in BTech ECM award from SNIST JNTUH. He published research papers on semi-autonomous and autonomous robots, IoT internship with multiple conferences, and he also designed a product called India's first bionic hand, which is received accolades from the Prime Minister's Office, Vice President, few officials of WHO, and multiple IPRs, design, patents, and copyright trademarks. So I would like to hand over to Chanakya Gone sir to continue with the workshop. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So now, can you please stop sharing the screen so that I can share?
Yeah, sir. Just a second.
Namrata, please take some screenshots.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm doing that.
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, sir, it's visible.
Yeah.
Where?
So hello everyone. So apart from what else told, I'll just give an intro of what Makers Hive is, what we are doing here. Okay, so that then we'll proceed to the actual content. So so we are a team of 20 people. Okay, so we were actually working in multiple companies. Okay, earlier I was with Infosys, then I got an offer with Microsoft. Okay, then I worked on projects for 3 to 4 startups in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Okay, on multiple domains, starting from software things like mobile and applications to industrial applications. But again, the heart was not there. So we when I was in graduation, I got, as Namrata asked, the experience at SNIST. I was actually focusing more on the practical knowledge rather than, the bookish kind of stuff. So I spent a lot of time in the labs, maybe electronics lab, all the labs that were there in the SNIST. I explored almost all the labs. Okay, EEE labs to the EC labs, ECM, everywhere. Even faculty supported it. So my was more in the hands-on. Okay, so with the exposure that I got towards robotics after graduation, I wanted to continue my career in the same domain, but unfortunately, there are no robotics yet in Hyderabad or maybe in India. So then, just to get an exposure, I went to join Infosys. Then I got my offers. But when I was in graduation itself, I got in touch with a person named Pranav, who is the CEO of our company. Okay, so he was student of Abdul Kalam sir. So Abdul Kalam sir always had this dream of Vision 2020, where he wanted to solve many problems in the country using technology. So and he felt that that is only possible with youngsters. So he's not here, but we wanted to bring that reality. That is where we left all our jobs, 20 people, and we started this company, Makers Hive in Hyderabad. Okay, so what Makers Hive does is Makers Hive is all about using technology to solve social problems. So we believe in it's not about building another commercial product, but it's about whatever you have learned, how do you convert that into a product that can help maybe your family, your friends, or neighbors, or anyone around you. So that's the main intention of this, and that is what is called real engineering. So we wanted to do that. So, and that is what we do at Makers Lab. So we started in 2018, and initially we focused on multiple projects related to agriculture, agri-tech, IoT projects, weather station, drones, okay, and soil testing devices. Then we moved on to bionics, okay, and as Amit sir mentioned, so recently whatever we have launched is Kalam, the India's first bionic hand. Okay, so now, so this is about Makers Hive and what we do. Let me just quickly jump into the actual stuff. So first, I'll give you an overview of, the overview of a product life cycle. Okay, what happens from ideation stage to, go to the market. I'll just give an overview. Then we'll focus more on ideation to the prototype stage. So to begin with, if you can see my screen, can you confirm, Namrata?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, perfect. So now what the first step is to have an idea. It really need not be good, but you need to have that idea. So that is where the brainstorming comes in, where you have multiple parameters to come up with an idea. So to have an idea, it's about the shortlisting process of parameters. Okay, we'll look into all this later, but I'm just giving you an overview. So then it's about shortlisting the idea. It's the evaluation process. Then the third step is analyzing market trends. It's not just you build what you like, but ultimately there should be certain market, okay, end users for that product. So that is what happens in the third stage. And in the fourth stage, it's all about design and the development process. Okay, once you have the concept clear, idea clear, you need to convert that idea into a design. So that is what happens here in the fourth step. And fifth step is all about the product development, okay, where you start coding, or maybe start soldering or design PCB design or whatever it is, put the connectors, figure out the power supply, inputs, output to the system, everything, give a good shape is what happens in product development. And the sixth step is the market testing. Basically it's about the client or the end user testing, or the field testing, what people call it as. So once you have the idea, once you have the prototype, okay, you need to test it on, okay, so in the market or with the end users. So that is what happens here in the market testing. And once you have the market testing, you need to have a clear strategy of what will be the target market, what's the strategy, how are we going to distribute, you'll have multiple things here. So then once you figure out those strategies, then comes the launch of the product. Okay, so this is just an overview. Okay, we'll now focus more on the first three to first four. Okay, developing the concept, idea to developing the concept, because you need first you need to understand how to actually evaluate an idea, how to do the brainstorming, how to convert that idea into a prototype. Once you figure that out, once you reach the stage of prototyping, and once you get enough technical knowledge, then we can think of bringing that prototype into the market. So this is the overview of a new product development cycle. So if you look at the kind of projects that we deal during the graduation level, okay, it may be software, mobile application, desktop applications, or maybe the embedded systems, where you'll use softwares like Keel or something. You'll have certain sensors, you'll have your micro Arduino or a Raspberry Pi board, you will write certain firmware. It's the combination of hardware and software. Then you have pure mechanical projects. And then fourth is the hybrid system, where you'll things the best example would be IoT system. You'll have your embedded system, you'll have your app, you'll have your cloud. So these are the usual projects that are taken up at graduation level. Okay, so these are widely different categories. Now I'll just give you an overview of what's the different. So just before going further, Namrata, can you please confirm if there are any software students from CSE, IT, or ECM here?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have shared to everyone, sir. I think they are there,
Okay,
but
fine.
mostly they are EC students.
Okay, fine. If it is mix and match, that's okay. So I just wanted to check whether to cover this or not. Yeah. So now coming to the development process, what happens in a software development? Say suppose you want to build a mobile application. Now that we are using applications like Swiggy, Zomato, these are our favorite applications, right? To Uber, okay, widely used, commonly used. So you want to build something, an application where you want to pull all the bike riders or maybe bicycle riders, okay, or you want to create something for fun. Okay, when we were in graduation, we created one application that I was sitting in the first bench and my friends were in the last bench, and just to communicate during the class hours, we created one application that works with Bluetooth, because at those point of time we don't have Jio, we didn't have Jio and Airtel, who are offering unlimited messages and the internet, right? So we wanted to communicate something at free of cost. So we created application, okay, to come that can communicate via Bluetooth. So I was in the first bench, they were in the last bench, and we used to pair the Bluetooth and we were chatting. Okay, but of course we didn't all the time. Just I'm giving you that as an example. Okay, where say if you want to build something like that, or if you want to build any application, okay, it may be a mobile application or a web application. Typically, it involves these 6 steps. One is, first you need to have a clear cut, understanding of the strategy. Okay, what you want to build, what is the purpose, okay, and what problem is it solving. So I'll come to the in detail, the parameters and what questionnaire has to be done at each and every stage later. So these couple of pictures are just for an understanding, so that you'll have that picture in your mind. That's it. So I'll come to in detail later. So once you have a clear-cut picture of idea, you start analyzing, planning, development, and all these things are common. The only reason why I wanted to show this is there is something called UI UX design, which most of the people won't be aware during the graduation stage. So what we do, say suppose if there is someone who already has experience in mobile application or web development, ECM, EC students, whoever it is, what you usually do is you'll go to online, you'll take some reference of similar mobile application. You'll just come here, open Android Studio or Eclipse. You'll try to, copy paste the code first initial stages. Then you'll try to tweak out something on your own and you'll try something, right? And then we immediately jump to the development process. What we need to do is, this is something which is important, whether you do a prototype or whether you do something of industrial standard, you need to focus on the UI UX design. UI UX is user interface and user experience. So when you build any application, it's not that you're building just to submit in the college or just to obtain marks or whatever it is. You have to build it in mind, who is the end user, who is the end customer. Although it may be a college project, but now that intro that I got of the innovation cell, there are 6 startups already set up. You need in that aspect where whatever you're going to ideate, whatever product you're going to build, it should be in line with market requirements. So the entire UI UX, I request everyone to focus on this more, where what happens in this UI UX is you consider yourself, or you actually interact with the end users, okay, and the requirement. It's not just building Uber. Say I want to build application for blind people. Okay, so building an application for normal people is completely different, and building something for blind people is completely different. So what I have done is, say I have created a music application for blind people. So I kept all the complex, and all the required, wonderful features in the application, and I took it to the end user. And the problem is he's unable to use it. He's really blind. So how will he use it? Okay, so it's not what you create directly, but it should actually address the need of the end user. That's the primary thing in the design thinking. So what should happen is, what happens in this UI UX design is where you follow something like a design thinking. It's a user-centric approach. So what happens here is you need to consider the end user. So if he is a blind person, what is the primary thing? So he cannot see. How will he use the application? You just tap anywhere on the screen. It means first and the primary thing, the application has to be, voice based. Okay, there should be a voice assistant. So that's how you need to start. Second thing, so he won't be able to see any colors that we usually see. So entire theming, the colors, the icons, the fonts, everything that you use in the application has to be completely different from what we see in traditional applications. It has to be completely different for a blind person. So if you don't consider all this and just build some application, it's ultimately you are going to use it, not the end user, right? So that is where you actually need to think, and that is what happens in a UI UX design, where you use things like design thinking. And what people do is, designers here, they do the sketches before you create the application. You need to do the wireframings. So mostly software people can easily understand this. So wireframe something, you know, where you just put the sketches of how a screen looks instead of directly building it. Okay. So, you know, if you think this is, you know, a little off track, that's okay. But, you know, you just try to explore maybe about the UI UX design. So let me just switch on to the next one. Since most of the people here are DCM, I'll focus more on the embedded systems and development process. So this is the hardware design process. So what happens here is the difference between a software product development and the hardware product development is, in a software product development, you have the idea, you know, you do the designs, you develop it, and then you put it on Play Store or iStore, or you upload it there in the Windows Store, whatever it is, and you know, people will start using it, and if there are complaints, they'll send it to you. That's how it is. But when you look at hardware system, it's completely different. You have the idea, you have a prototype. No, it won't stop there. After prototype, you need a proper, you know, understanding of the market, and you need to understand how you're going to take this to the production. Because if you look at you know, things like, say, maybe the smartwatch, okay, whatever you take, watch or earphones, whatever you take, they'll be manufactured in bulk quantities. Okay, so bulk quantities means, you know, they need a manufacturing setup with which ensures proper quality in each and every batch. You know, prototype is all about building one piece, okay, that works. But you know, scaling it up, making sure the manufacturing process is in place, and taking this into the market, and after that people will throw this down, people will damage it, multiple things will happen. So the servicing comes into picture, so where, you know, you'll get a lot of things for repair and all. So that is how a hardware product development you know, works. So it is little different from software. So this is a basic understanding that you need to have with respect to the overall product life cycle. How a product, what are the steps involved in a product cycle, and that in detail in a software product life cycle and a hardware product life cycle. Now we will just you know, enter into something you know, interesting, that is idea to the prototype, which is the actual agenda of the session. Okay, you might be wondering, okay, fine, we joined this session, and he's explaining about all the stuff that we don't know, manufacturing, servicing, production, product life cycle and all. The biggest problem that we have is how to get a good idea. You might be having this question. Okay, all I would say is, with the experience that I gained, all you have to do, you really have to build a rocket, or you know, do something big to get a very good idea. All you have to do is spend some time. Okay, think what's happening around you. You can start from your kitchen. Okay, your mom, you know, she cooks every day. Go to the kitchen and spend some time with her. Check what challenges is she having. Okay, one example is, you know, can you make a robotic arm, okay, using which can actually help her. So say something, so she's preparing some Maggie or something, okay, or some dish which actually needs upma, okay, where you need to continuously rotate the spoon. Okay, what if you prepare a small robotic arm that can, you know, just do this action? That will help your mother, right? Maybe consider your dad, friends. You will have some or the other issues that you face in everyday life. Take that issue and try to come up with a solution that will give you an idea. So those are the trick points. People really don't, you know, come up with something really amazing by spending you know, days and months. It all starts from a small problem that they face in daily life. Now let's take example of Elon Musk. Okay, everyone must be knowing him. So now that he started satellite based internet, why did he start? What made him start? There is a problem. In countries like India, you cannot put the LAN cable everywhere to every small village, right? So the solution is satellite based. So even many people tried it, but he made it a reality. So every idea right now, whatever products you see outside, they come from a need. Okay, you know this already. The quotation, necessity is mother of invention. We hear many such quotation, but it's all about how we relate them to ourselves. So, and you know, I here before going further, I'll just tell you how the entire thing is going to be. I'll relate the entire ideation process in from starting from ideation to prototype. I'll link that with the product that we have built, the Kalam Bionic Hand, and I'll tell you how to think and how we thought, okay, how our ideation process was, and then I'll tell you, you know, how you need to think when you are going to start. So there are second years and third years, so you might have to do the group projects and you know, other projects as a part of academics, right? So try to implement all these, whatever you're going to learn here. So let me just start with the ideation. So I think you got an understanding of how where the idea comes from. It comes from your everyday life, where you need to focus on the challenges. I'll tell you something more relatable to you. Everyone is in the college, right now you might be at home, but if you look at, say you want to read a book, okay, how will you find it in the library? You have to go there, check all the racks. Of course there might be information there, but it's difficult. At least you have to spend some time, 30-40 minutes, to go to the library, find the book and everything. What if you build an application? You have cameras over there in the which continuously scans, and you just open the application and search for the book name. It should tell you where is the rack, okay, where is the book, exact position of the book. So, or whether it is in stock or not, something like that. So you can do many things. Okay, you have issues with the transportation system in the college, try to address it. Okay, you can come up with many things. Okay, all you have to do is start thinking, look at the problems around you, then you'll get plenty of ideas. And so if you have any ideas, say suppose let's take example of the common project that ECE students take up, that is a keypad based door locking system. Okay, so is this the one? I think Namrata, even people at TEC might have done this.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes, sir. We have done it, sir.
so this is a common project that most of you start with, or maybe a smart dustbin, okay, or maybe a four-wheel robot that can work with a mobile, or a DTMF control something, okay, or maybe a Raspberry Pi based, or a digital signal processing based application, some other thing you do it. Or maybe you'll have certain sensors which will capture the data and push it to the cloud or display in the mobile application. All these things, you try to always replicate what's there on the internet, because you are at a stage of learning. You still don't know how to actually build something which people say is not possible, right? So you don't really have that exposure at graduation level. So what I'll do is I'll just relate the entire discussion that we are going to have with these two, the bionic hand that we have built, how the process has to be, to this, a simple project like this. Okay, say suppose Namrata is trying to build this project, keypad based door locking system. Now what I would ask you is, say suppose each of you here in the call, you think if you are going to build something like this, okay, there is an Arduino power supply. What happens in this is, say password is 1234. Now when I click on this keypad, so here is the keypad, 4x4 matrix keypad. Now I click on 1234. So the door will open. So if I type wrong password, the door won't open. So this is simple. Okay, now, so if you are trying to build something like this, or whatever you are trying to build, first thing I would ask you is really question whether you are addressing any problem, or are you just building this just to learn. So start questioning yourself. Few people, you might be having different career options. Few people might want to go with gate, might want to go with GRE, few might want to go with things. Few people really want to get a job, ECE job, or maybe few people really want to learn new technologies. Whatever reason it is, first point, when you start ideating, okay, and when you have an idea, okay, think, this is the first question: are you addressing any problem? Okay, and how are you addressing is the question. For example, you can actually take a LED matrix, okay, 10 by 10 or whatever LED. You can just display your name on the LED matrix. What will you get with that? Is it useful to you, or is it useful to the world outside in any way? No, right? It's just for fun. You're doing something. Yeah, that's good. But the real ideas are the useful ones. They should actually address some problem, okay, that you are facing or the society is facing. So that is the first and the foremost important thing, okay, for ideation. Okay, you need a very good idea, and that idea should actually address a problem around you. As I mentioned earlier, say you want to go on trekking, say 3 to 4 people, you want to go out during this 4 to 5 of you, and to a farmhouse or whatever it is, and all you started on bikes, and you have the Google Maps. And somehow because of traffic and all, few people are behind and few people are going. Now that's a problem. Every time you call your friends and check, Arey, where are you? Do you know the route? And all. Say suppose there is bad internet, what will you do? So now one thing that you can do is you create one application where you can add people, all your friends, just like you are adding here in WebEx. You add all your friends, and you'll then have markers for you can just put different colors, okay, and each of you will know where other person is, and then put it onto the Google Maps, okay, as an overlay. So that gives you, that is solving your small problem. At the same way, be thinking, okay, that's a problem related to me. How is that related to what? Just like you, there will be thousands of people out there who might be facing similar issue. Address, so it might address their issues also, right? So think from that perspective. So thing point in ideation is whatever idea you have, it need to have a purpose. Okay, you need to address some problem. That is where things will really work. And now coming to our product, the bionic hand that we have built. Okay, so the primary motive was the 6 million amputees around in India. So there are 6 million people who are actually not having hand from maybe elbow or maybe wrist. Okay, there are 40 million people out in the world who don't have hands. And I'll tell you one story where I met a lady, okay, named Gayatri. She works for Cognizant, and when I asked her, she's not having hand since her birth. Okay, then I asked her, why do you really feel sad about not having a hand? She mentioned, I have a 4 years kid and I never got a chance to hug her. Okay, and there was a guy, 12 or 14 years guy, who stopped going to school. Why? Because he lost both his arms in an accident, and people were, teasing him, so he stopped going to school. Okay, so we took all these problems as a challenge, and that is where we created this bionic hand. So even as Amit sir mentioned, we are taking traction across the country, and from other countries also. The reason is this particular hand has a purpose. This particular product or this particular idea of building a prosthetic arm. Okay, when we all the 20 people, when we left our jobs and when we came together to build something, even we had that enough technical knowledge and enough research backing, but we were not clear of what to build. Okay, and this is what came to us when we actually were traveling to Chennai, and when we met this person named Gayatri, and then when we were back to Hyderabad, we went to a temple, and where we saw that guy. Okay, so all these stories inspired us to build this product. So what I'm trying to say here is, whatever you want to build, it should also have a story. You need to have a story to sell your product. You need to have a story to build your product. Always keep this in mind. So that's a primary thing for any product. Now, if you look at something like this, where are you going to use this keypad based system? You can use it in your college. You can use it at your home. You can use it in all the corporate offices. So it has a purpose. And now on the contrary, now compare it with a LED matrix where you want to just display your name. Is there any purpose there? Nothing, right? So the primary thing is you need to have a purpose when you want to take your idea to next level. Before building a prototype or before doing anything, during the ideation session, just question yourself, whatever idea you're getting, is it really useful? Is it useful to me, my family, my friends, or society? Right? So that's the first point that you need to focus on. And the second thing is, who are your end users? Are you building that for yourself, for your friends, for your family, or for the entire country? Or maybe there are plenty of people out there. Do you want to build something like that? Okay, who are your end users? Next thing, what challenges are being faced by the end users? And maybe 4 to 5 years back, there was one interesting project from SNIST itself. They wanted to build a stick, okay, for blind people. Okay, so with the ultrasonic sensor and also proximity sensor, and they have integrated that stick with earphones. What happens is, when the blind person, when he goes on the road, when he just moves, it will always tell if there is something nearby, and the system will automatically convert if there is any obstacle, or if there is animal, whatever it is. So he'll get all the info through the earphones, so you can hear that. So they're converting this obstacle based detection, the computer vision what they have used, okay, to track the pedestrians and all, they're converting into the voice. So this is something where there is a use, right? So there is a challenge that the end users are facing, the visually impaired people. So what I'm trying to say is you need to keep in mind who are your end users when you build that, okay, and what challenges are they facing. So that will actually give how to build. Okay, when you having questions like, okay, I have an idea to build IP based some a device, electronic device which will have multiple ports, or maybe I want to build a smart bicycle. Now that you have driverless cars, some of you might want to build a driverless bicycle to deliver pizzas and many things, right? You will have this idea. What's next? Who are going to use? If it is going to be driverless, how will be the parking system? How the entire system has to be? Who will be monitoring this if something goes wrong? There'll be multiple things, right? So you need to figure out all these challenges, and once you figure out all these challenges, you will know what has to be in that system, what features that system should offer. Okay, what are the loopholes and all this. So now relating that to our product also, when we got this idea to build a bionic hand, we didn't directly start it after listening to the stories. We didn't blindly start. We actually questioned, okay, amputees, people who don't have the hands, are the end users. What challenges do they have? No, people, they cannot do everyday operations, like they cannot eat with their hand, right? When they don't have the hand, they cannot even do their daily chores and many other things. So these are all the challenges that they face in their daily life. And few people, there was this person named Vivek, okay, who recently joined IIM Bangalore. So he always had that passion towards the bikes. So he likes bike riding a lot, but he lost both the hands. That's the end of the chapter. One end of the bad. And he felt really bad. He is a very good rider also. So then he thought, we spoke with him. We took all the challenges. Yes, he said single thing: I want to ride the bike again. I don't want to die this way. So that is one of the challenge that he has. Everyone has their own challenges, right? So you need to figure out everything, and all those challenges will actually turn into your product features. Okay, now the challenge there is he wants to ride a bike. It means the bike, you need this kind of action. If you can see my hand, okay, and you need this firm grip, right? At the same time, this entire socket, okay, whatever is here, it has to be in a firm position. Okay, and the fingers have to open and close. So at the same time, when he is riding bike, these fingers should not abruptly open without his control. So these were the considerations, and ultimately these turn out into the product features. Hope you understand. Okay, so the challenges will turn into product features. Now, next thing is, what features do you offer? Based on all these challenges, you will figure out, okay, the blind person, he wants to cross a road. Okay, he needs to know all the obstacles. Okay, he needs to go whether traffic signals or not, whether there is a pit hole in front of him, or he needs to do everything. So there should be some computer vision, there should be a camera, there should be a voice, a device in his ear to get the voice command. So all these things will give, should be in your system. Okay, that will give a concrete structure to your idea. So next comes this question, biggest question: is your idea new, or are you trying to improve the existing thing, or are you trying to replicate the same? So these are completely different. When we are in graduation, first thing that all of us will do, and even I did, was trying to replicate whatever is available on YouTube, or instructables, tutorials, or whatever it is. Go there, check YouTube, try to replicate. Glow the LED with Arduino, okay, blinking. Slowly we'll move on to integrating the sensors, motors, IoT applications, slowly, AI and all. Then what are you getting? Okay, so if you really want to just learn, that's a different story. But if you really want to, build something which is useful and take it to the market, the ideation has to be completely different. And this has to start at, before prototyping itself. So you need to question yourself whether it is a new idea, or are you trying to, improve it, or are you trying to replicate it? You need to have picture clear. Because the reason why I'm telling you this is, second year, third year, fourth year, you will do the group project, mini and major project. Some way, do you really want these projects to be useful after your final year, or you want just these two just to for the sake of marks, and you just want to leave this and continue career in a different way? Okay, you need to figure that out first. Because what a clever person does is, whatever group major project he does, it has to be in line with his career. That's the best suggestion I can give. Because what most of the people do is, in third year they'll figure out, okay, I want to go for masters. I'll do this and that. They'll focus on the GRE. Yes, you're right. Focus on the long-term vision. Whenever you go for masters, you need to take some branch and you need to do it there, right? So if you're going to do something on microelectronics, or you are going to do something on VLSI, or maybe artificial intelligence, or whatever it is, whatever you do here has to be in line with that. Try to do that, because again, at that point of your time, you don't really have to start from. You already have 1.5 year of experience on 3 different projects. This will be definitely useful there. So whenever you think of an idea, before implementing it, also have this question whether I am trying to build this keeping in my career in view, or I am trying to just learn something for a temporary sake, or I want to really start a new business after graduation based on this idea. What is it? So you need to figure that out and strategize accordingly. Because if you really want serious about setting up your own business, or maybe taking this idea into the market and all, you have to be pretty serious. Okay, the idea has to be challenging, and the idea also has to, it needs to have that purpose. Okay, and enough market. You cannot just do something which is already existing. There is no use and no one will buy it. Okay, but if you are just trying to do something just for temporary sake learning, that's a different story. But you need to also have this clarity in mind. Then next comes, as I mentioned, do you really want to build it just for thing or setting up the business? Or the biggest thing is there really a need? As I mentioned, say you want to display your name on 2x2, 10x10 matrix LED. What is the need? To learn how to use matrices. Okay, you want to get familiar with the keel. Is it that, or you want to do something different? You need to question yourself. And at the same time, whatever you're doing, is there a need? You just think. Now I'll take the example of the same project, whatever I told you, a keypad based door locking system. There are already plenty of such devices in the market. Whatever you see in the college, outside, when you go to shopping malls or any offices, corporate office, this is already there. Then what is the purpose of building this again? Then you might be having question, when we don't even know basics, how do we build a bigger system? What I suggest you is, when you have an idea like this, building something like this, try to use this. Don't stop yourself to having an Arduino LCD keypad, and when you click on it, there will be some text on the LCD. Take this, go to okay, maybe admin office, whatever it is, go, or maybe at your home, to your bedroom, fix this. Okay, ask your family members or friends to use this. If they are able to use this well, okay, and if this really works, you are actually, not stopping at a stage where you are just copying the code or just putting some connector. You are using this as a real world application. So you need to figure that out. Do you just want to put it as a PCB design, or just a circuit design, or a simulate on MATLAB? We want to use this Arduino and just display something on LCD. Okay, you need to figure that out. So what I'm trying to say is, don't stop here at the stage of displaying something on the LCD. Take this to a next level, where you take this idea, fix it in a real world, and then check. Because the problem that you face when you just sit near a table and just put the connection and see the output on the LED is from what you face in a real world. I'll just compare it to what you learn in your lab. Say now you take your LDIC, okay, or microprocessors and microcontrollers, whatever you use. I think you already are using ARM based controllers, okay, and you also have 8081 and other processors, okay, if I'm not wrong. So but whatever you learn there are completely different from what people use in the industry. We have 32-bit controllers and processors, and the reason why most of the why most of the ECM people are not getting into core jobs? It's the same with mechanical and EEE also. It's not college is not getting good companies. It's also effort from student side, where you need to have that enough hands-on experience, okay, if you want to really get into core companies. What companies are expecting right now is, they're not expecting you to just have those basic fundamentals. Expecting you to have how that basic maturity, where you can relate the concepts to the real world applications. So they need that. So that is why what I'm saying is, you need to have a purpose. You need to able to bring this idea into reality, and then test in a real world environment. So just to give a brief ideation session, whatever you think, okay, you need to have a purpose, the entire idea. You need to know who's your target user. You need to know what features you are giving to your. You need to have a complete idea whether there is really a need. Now coming to our product, whatever we let's just correlate this to this. So whatever product we wanted to build, yes, Kalam, the bionic hand. There is no other bionic hand in the country. We didn't just build this to claim this is going to be India's first. There should be a need, or else why do we build? As a company, we'll fail. We'll have a bionic hand, but if no one buys it, what's the purpose? Right? So there should be market for it. There are multiple angles here. So the bottom line is whatever idea you have, you need to have a purpose for it. You need to know the challenge. You need to know who is your end user, right? If you are going to be your end user, very good, but you need to have this in mind. Just moving on. So there are few common mistakes that people do. We just, when we have a very good idea, we just think that, our idea is wonderful. Okay. We don't, really do a proper research. A proper research is really required. I'll tell you one good example, Google Glass. Okay. It's a very high product. If some you have seen, okay, it's a very high-tech, spectacles, Google Glass. People have voice commands, they have a camera, they have everything required. It's a high-tech product, but think that really didn't work out. Google had to, stop that project. Okay, and there is, you might have seen this in many movies, even on YouTube and all. Okay, even that product failed. These two, the reason why they failed, those companies, they had a very good idea. Okay, they wanted to build. Okay, but they didn't think of the end user. What is end user, really in need of? What can he really afford it? They have built Google Glass with all the advanced features, but the cost is too high. People cannot really afford. And the second thing is there is no data privacy in that. All the commands that that goes, even Google can hear the command. They can get all the info. Even their information is public. People, they don't really want this to happen. So that is where things fail. Even with the Segway, the reason why Segway didn't work out is in a country like India where you cannot, ride your bicycle safe. How can you, use a Segway? Okay, so you need to think of the practicality. Don't just be with an assumption that my idea is wonderful without doing a proper research. Then the second point, common mistake that most of you, most of the people do is we always try to reinvent the wheel. As I was telling, what is the purpose of doing a keypad based door locking system in 2021 when already people have done it in 2013 and 14? You can do something more, right? You use it. What most of us do is we always try to reinvent the wheel. Okay, first let me just do whatever is online. Let me learn. We'll do something. We always start with this intention. What we'll do is we'll just stop there. We'll do whatever is already existing. Okay, it's done. It's just 1 to 2 months project, right? Why do we really have take the headache? Okay, it's not what the point where you have to stop. You don't really have to invest that much time in what is always already existing. Use that. Say same example, you have keypad based locking system, right? Use the same thing. Add one additional feature where you log how many times who is entering the room, how many times people are entering wrong password. Okay, and have a camera there in front of the room and relate that data. Okay, this person entered the room at this point of time. Use this as a security system for office, home, and everywhere, because there won't be people monitoring, right? And try to log this data in Excel, or maybe try to link this system with a mobile application and give the data to all the faculty members. They will know when they are not in the office who all entered their room. Just one additional feature that whatever you're going to add is going to make a lot of impact, and that is where you actually learn. What will you learn? Just implement what is online. One thing you need to keep in mind: when you have an idea, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Try to add something. Try to at least improve it. When you can't come up with completely out of the box ideas, just try to improve it. That is how you learn. Next thing is there has to be some value addition. Okay, so now I'll give you an example here for point B and C. If you're going to build a bionic hand, okay, whatever we have built here, if you are going to, is this the first bionic hand in the entire world? No, there are already bionic hands in Western countries. But the reason why we have built again is they are very costly. We want to make it affordable. Okay, the Western alternatives cost around 30 to 35 lakhs, and we wanted to bring down the cost to 2 to 3 lakhs where Indians can afford it. That's the primary focus. And there is a value addition here. What happens is, when a person buys a hand, okay, when he gets this product, he can actually start using it. People can drive by, people can use, use it for daily activities. There is a need, there is a purpose, right? The same thing goes here. And that doesn't mean, we build or replicate the same product. Okay, how do we differentiate it? Why will user buy if it is going to be the same product? It has to be, better than what is existing. So the same goes here. You don't really have to reinvent. At the same time, whatever idea you have, you need to, there should be a value addition. As I told you earlier, displaying name on LED matrix or building, this is one more common project that you do. But I don't think anyone in NIST has done it, but this is something different. I'll tell you. When I say value addition, it's like this. Just compare displaying your name on the LED. You won't get anything, right? Just try to do it. Every day in the classroom, how much time professor spends in clearing the board? Cleaning, okay? Or how much time a student spends in cleaning? Or maybe in your the TEC club or in the robotics club, when you take the session, what if you together build a system that can that is automated and that can clean the board, a robotic arm kind of stuff? You can do that, right? So there is a purpose there. You're the human effort. So you need to have something like that. So every time you have an idea, just look at these common mistakes what others do, okay? And you need to have these questions in mind before you come up with something, okay? And now the second step is before going to the prototype, okay, you have the market research. As I mentioned earlier about Google Glass and Segway, which really a flop products because they didn't do proper market analysis, market research. You need to know, are there any equal products in the market, equivalent ideas? Did someone do it already? If yes, how is your product or your idea different? Okay, how is it going to be a successful idea? You need to do a proper competitor analysis. What features you want to do, what if other people have already done it, what problems are there in the existing systems, how are you going to address them? So that is how it is. Now just relating that to the product that we have done, okay, is look at this, the panels. If you can see the panels here, the one in the red, the bionic hands that are in the Western countries, they come in a black color or maybe skin color. But most of the people who go to college and most of the professionals, they don't want their hand to look in skin color. Okay, they want, especially ladies. Okay, when we met Gayatri and many other people, they were like, okay, I want this hand, okay, to match my dress color, because I want to confidently show that I have something more advanced than a human hand. That is where we came up with concept of this panel, interchangeable panels, where user can actually change it. Just like you have your mobile cover, you can just change it based on your requirement, right? Color, photo, whatever it is. People can actually change the panels of this hand. That is what people want. Okay, that is something which is making this hand unique compared to other competitors. Next thing, over a period of time, this hand also has compatibility with the mobile application, where users can pair with this, and they can entire health diagnostics of this device. So this is something which is not there in the competitor. So these are all the differentiating factors when you compare your idea or your product, your project with other competitors. So you need to have the differentiating factor. Just like when you are at your home and when you compare yourself with other students or other friends, you really feel awkward. Why do you compare me with other, right? You are because you feel that you are unique in a different way. The same also has to be the case with your idea, your product, whatever it is. It has to be unique in its own way. So you need to question and you need to figure out how unique is your, is it really replicating the same thing? Then how can we make my idea unique? So you need to have those unique factors or the unique selling points. Then so do a proper competitor analysis, which will give you the comparison of the features, the price, everything. Okay, then you also look at how many users you have and all. Okay, so you need to look at something like this. Then the third step is idea evaluation, where you have pool of ideas. Okay, you have, say, you want to build a smart dustbin, you want to a small gadget. Okay, one of the common thing is most of us, we forget things. Okay, I'll put car keys somewhere and I forget, or maybe I'll put my mobile somewhere and I forget, right? So this is a global problem. I want to address it. Let me put some small Bluetooth, NFC or tags onto my mobile, and I'll have something on my wrist or maybe in my pocket, so that when I go out of the I'll put the range as 15 feet. And when I go out of it, it will start giving me indication saying that, okay, you forgot it somewhere. This is a common problem in which you can address it. There are already devices, but you can make it something unique. Okay. So just like this, when you have multiple ideas like this, how do you shortlist an idea? Many people have this question. Okay, I have a lot of ideas. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do. I don't know which one to do. These are the major questions. Okay. So the process is like this. When you have many ideas, first question is look at the feasibility, because functionality is more important than aesthetics. You don't really have to give a very beautiful shape to the idea. First of all, look at the functionality, because some ideas might be out of the box, no one else has done it right now, and even you don't know how to do it, you just have the idea. So this is a major problem that we have. Second thing is, we have idea, we have clarity on it, but we don't know how to do it. We don't have any resources, any knowledge of the hardware or anything, right? There might be multiple scenarios. So first question that you have to raise and what you have to look at is the idea feasible? Okay, whatever I have mentioned. Okay, looking at when you have this forgetfulness, you want to have the Bluetooth or NFC chips. This is possible, right? Now, say you want to do the same thing. What if you want to build whatever Google tried earlier, and even Facebook tried? They wanted to put balloons, okay, and as a servers, okay, routers to distribute internet. Okay, it was practically not possible, and even till now it didn't meet what people were expecting. There were people, or maybe there are a few things, like people want to create artificial heart, maybe people want to create artificial brain, or maybe many things, so you need to first look at how feasible is the idea. Is it really possible? Are there any close references of already existing products? So look at the feasibility first. All you have to do is go online, search for the feasibility, look at the ideas and all, you'll come to know. Second thing is, you need to look at whether the idea is simple or is it complex. Okay, if there is can the users, end users basically, can they use it without any assistance, or do they need training? One example is, if you can see my screen, I'll show you this product. So look at this. This is a high-tech product of Google Lens. But the thing is, can a farmer use this? That's the biggest question. Can a farmer use this without any technical background, without any graduation or anything? Right? So you need to have that question: how complex is the device? Okay, I can make. There are, in Hollywood movies, you see a lot of stuff. You have chip, and you put the chip or barcode on the skin. There are many things, and there are many ideas which people have, many animation videos online, but they stop there because of lack of feasibility, and at the same time, they might be way too complex for the user. Okay, now one example that I want to give here is. I'll show you one of the projects that we have worked on. Yeah. See this? Namrata, can you please confirm?
No, sir, it's not visible. Yeah,
Can you
it's
see?
now visible.
Okay.
Questions, idea evolution.
Okay. So can you all see this video? Can you see video?
No, sir, it's not visible. Video is not visible.
Okay. Just hold on for a minute. Okay, too many windows. Okay, wait, hold on for a minute. Okay, fine. Let's not delay. We actually have built a product. Okay, that's a brain control page. Okay, so what happens is, there will be a headset. Okay, user has to wear that, and he needs to give command saying, okay, I want to move forward, and the wheelchair actually moves forward. Okay, that is one of the projects that we have done. but it stopped at prototype level and we couldn't take it further because it's way too complicated for the user. We need to, there is a lot of training that is involved. He needs to have complete stability. When he gets a little anger or, out of control, it's some random signal from the brain and device doesn't know what to do. Okay, so there are something like that. So what I'm trying to say is the idea has to be very simple for the user. Okay, next thing is you need to have this question. Okay, when all these are related to idea evaluation, you need to have this question whether user will actually accept it. Okay, even we had this question when we want to build this bionic hand. Okay, will the people really wear it? Will they really like to wear something that looks different from their normal hand? Okay, will the users really accept? It's a very good product, it's going to be useful, but users really accept? Then we went on to meet many people, we did a survey, then we understood, yes, they really need it. They what we it came to know is people really want to show off their hand. Okay, they want to show that my hand is completely different from other people's. So that is what we learned, and then we came back, yes, we are on right track and we want to do it. Okay, so that is where we have done this. Okay, that is how it is. Open the required tab in the image. Okay, let me see. This option, stop sharing.
So, guys,
Yeah, I'm sharing it again. No, I can't find it here. Anyways, yeah. Is someone else sharing? Hello?
You are the presenter, sir.
Okay. Okay, can you say this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So just coming back, I'll show those at the end. I don't know why when I play the video, it's not that thing. Let's see at the end. But yeah, so then you need once you have a clear-cut idea of the feasibility, and once you know whether it is going to be simple or complex, and you need to think of user acceptance. Okay, and once you feel okay, users will definitely use it and all, then you need to think of how much time do you have, how much money do you have, and what kind of skill set do you have. Do you need additional people? Do you know everything about the idea? Do you know all the technologies involved, how to implement and all? So do a gap analysis on what skill set you have, what else you need, how to pull up the team, okay, with similar mindset. Okay, then once you have this, think of the market demand. Okay, do you want to really take it to the market and sell, or do you want to just stop this as a college project? You need to think in multiple aspects, because whatever ideas you're going to get, few ideas might be really useful for the society. Okay, then you don't really have to stop there. If people like you, innovators like you, stop there, where will be the solutions coming from? So think in those lines, and then you need to also think about if there are any barriers to entry. If there is a monopoly in the market, it's very difficult. How do you differentiate your product? So there are plenty of things related to this. But in a nutshell, again, idea evaluation is all about, what what you know about your idea, what you know about the end user, and what kind of that you have, and what the gap analysis says. Okay, based on all these parameters, you need to evaluate your idea final as one idea. Okay, now can you see this image, Namrata?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So just whenever you want to figure out which idea to go with, you can just think of this know-how and wow matrix. Okay. So this how says this particular thing on x-axis, it's about the idea type. Okay, normal, original, uniqueness. On y-axis, it's difficulty level basically. So from zero, if you start, it's easy to implement to impossible to implement. So when you have multiple ideas, put them in one of these boxes. Okay, where how is you have very good ideas, impossible to implement, okay, which are unique, but you cannot do them now because you just have 1 to 2 months for group project or mini project. Next is you have very good ideas which are very low risk, and you have existing references and YouTube and Instructables and many more, and you can do them immediately. They fall into now. And when you have original ideas, unique ideas, which are also to do, which are innovative, okay, they fall into wow. So if your idea is in now and wow, you can go ahead and do it at college level. If you have something which is where you have, which comes into this how box where is really unique and some and it is complicated at the same time, just park it, or maybe you can do it this way. You can, if coordinate with your faculty, and they can actually allow you to stretch this same project for 3 mini. In group project you'll do 30% of it. Mini project you'll do the remaining of 30%. As a major product you'll use 40%, okay, of the same thing, where you'll have different modules or the features, so that you'll gain complete knowledge, and you'll also have that time. Okay, so this is one of it. So this is one of the examples how you can actually evaluate your idea. And then what I would say, have a peer review or maybe expert reviews. Meet your professors, meet your friends, ask them. Most of us, what we do is we'll have ideas, we'll just stop sharing with your friends. Okay, that is what we do. Okay, we don't share it with our friends and faculty members. I would suggest you share it with your friends, family, and be open for criticism. Get the proper feedback, and that is what makes your idea better. Okay, or maybe you can even validate your idea using software simulation. So if you look at what we have covered till now, is how how you will get ideas, how the ideation process have to be, what questions you have to make to yourself, and then the market research, then idea evaluation. Okay, and then how to validate your concept. And after that you need to look at the design. So this is a stage where you have complete clarity of what idea you are going with. Next comes the design. So if you are from ECM or ECE, you have the PC. Say you are going to build the same project, a keypad based locking system. So you have Arduino here. So there are options. You can go with a microcontroller, you can go with the Arduino, you can go with any other board. Okay, it's up to you. Say you're going to build your own PCB here. So it may be you might be manually soldering it, or you can go with your own PCB design, right? Or a few people might want to build mobile application. So whatever project it is, okay, first define your customer persona. So what customer persona is, who is your end user, what challenges he has. Okay, that challenges, convert them into features, bring them onto dashboard, have them as all the features. Then how should be the human machine interaction? Now considering this project where the human machine interaction is, how will a human interact with the system? Okay, machine here is system. So when you take this system, the human he won't touch the battery, motor, LCD, he won't touch it. All he will touch is the keypad. He has to just enter. So the human machine interaction here is, okay, he has to enter the buttons, click some buttons on the keypad, check the output on the LCD. So this is the human machine interaction. So the same thing if you relate to our product, okay, where we have multiple buttons. So let me just show. Okay, can you see this? So this is okay. Now if you look at, I'm not sure whether you can see it or not. There is a button over here, and there is also a button over here, on off switch. I can do it this way. Okay. So these are the interactions that you have in the products. Okay, buttons, LEDs, touchpad, screen, whatever it is. This is the human machine interaction where you give input and get output from the system. How human interacts with that machine. So define that. It may be a prototype, it may be real world product, whatever it is. Define. Say one example is you want to build a smart dustbin, or you want to do a blackboard erasing system, or what you want to do. Define that. That will give a complete picture of, okay, instead of you just thinking as, okay, I'm building this project, think from the end user perspective and build this human machine interaction. The reason why it plays a key role is it will make the interaction simple. You might feel comfortable pressing this button longer time, or you might feel comfortable with the key. But few people, say you're going to deploy this same keypad system in a mall, in a shopping mall, or maybe in some hospital. What if a 60-year-old grandmother comes there? Can she click the buttons with pressure? What if you just have a touchpad? They're familiar with that. So, when you define your human machine interaction, what are the inputs? What are the outputs to the system? How user interacts? That will actually, improve the user experience. So you need to consider this. And then once you have a clarity on how the idea looks like, okay, put it in the form of a sketch. or maybe you can draw it, okay, or you can create block diagrams, wireframes, whatever you want. Put that in the form of sketches, okay. Once you have the sketches, you need to define what tools you want. Okay, I want to build this keypad based system, or I want to build a bionic and whatever it is. How? The question comes, what software should I use, what hardware should I use, and what kind of, say, if it is a mechanical one, what kind of fasteners, screwdrivers, what kind of technology should I use? Okay, what kind of manufacturing process should it be, or what kind of designing software should I use? Okay, you'll have multiple questions. Okay, one example here, one suggestion what I would give is for ECM students, when you want to build any project, electronics is common. You will have transistors, you will have ICs, microcontrollers, whatever it is. I suggest you not to manually solder it. Okay, try to go to next level. Design it using CAD softwares, like you have PCB, you have OrCAD, you have many Cadence tools. Okay, you have many open sourced also. Try them. You have many manufacturers in Balnagar, Bolaram, and in ECIL. Okay, they'll do it for you. You don't really have to pay a lot. They'll just 200 to 300 rupees. You'll get very good PCBs. Okay, manufactured. That is how you get to know what are the softwares that industry people are using. When you always try to just solder it by yourself, you don't learn how softwares work, you don't know how to design and all. No one is ready in the industry to actually train you. If you are, there are 1,000 people who apply for a job, and if you already know how to use the software, what is the design for manufacturability, what is what is OrCAD, what are Cadence tools, people will pick you, not the other 999, right? So I want you to focus on this. So the next step in the design process is, once you figure out the block diagram, once you have the sketches and all, you need to think of the design process, manufacturing process, how it's going to be and all. Then once you have this clarity, have a review with your friends, with your colleagues, whoever it is, have a review, and then comes the prototype stage. So in the prototype stage, to look at what kind of materials you want to use. Okay, when you are a student, all you'll have is wood or a plastic that is widely available, nylon, right? But what I would suggest is, there are plenty of companies out in Hyderabad. Things have changed. You don't really have to spend much time or money. For most of the electronic components, you go to Koti, right? Just go to Raniganj, Balnagar. Once you will understand, what kind of materials you can get. Okay, there are already plenty of shops. Okay, and I would suggest you to explore more materials which are sturdy. Okay, and you need to also define just on how to select them. How do you want your prototype to look? Do you want it to look very beautiful in a complex shape? Go with 3D printing. If you just want to, just put it as a box, you can just take it any wooden pieces, or maybe nylon sheets or plastic sheets, and you can use it. Okay, but you focus on the material also. So you can go online and research on what kind of materials to use. That's a long topic again, but you need to focus on the material, the first step when you want to start the prototyping. Then you need to focus, if it is a software project, you need to finalize what architecture you want to go with. It may be, if it is an embedded system, you need to go with ARM architecture, or you want to go with ASIC or VLSI based chips, or what you want to go with. You need to finalize the architecture, what kind of platform you want to go with. If it is a software, mobile application, web application, what kind of architecture, MVC, MVP, and MVVM, these are the latest ones. Few are old ones, but most of the times we don't even know these architectures exist. All we know is we just go to YouTube, find the tutorials, and replicate it. But the second step that comes here in prototyping is finalizing your architecture. So you need to focus on that also. Then the third thing is the manufacturing process. As I mentioned earlier, you just start digging deeper into different things. So for rapid prototyping, if it is an enclosure made of metal, you have many machining and milling processes. Okay, maybe sheet metal works, rapid prototyping, 3D printing. Okay, you have many options like this. For embedded systems, you have PC manufacturers out here. You can try out anything. Okay, then the most important thing at a prototyping stage is you need to learn by doing. Okay, that is how even we have done. When we started this project, building a bionic hand, okay, we know what is electronics, we know what is software, we know what is mechanics, but we don't know how a bionic hand works. We don't know what are the medical terms, and how how to build a bionic arm. We basically, we were not having that idea. All we have done is we just jumped, we started building it, and after 2 years we figured out how to do it, and we have done it. So for the suggestion that I would give to you is also, you don't really have to break your heads on thinking, okay, do I really know this? How much time will I take to learn? Or do I really have to do this? I don't know 90% of it. I just know the idea. No, just jump, start learning while you're doing. That is how it works. You cannot get months of time to learn it and then do it. You have to sometimes just jump and do it. Okay, so that's a key part of doing prototype. You need to have that attitude. And then one more important factor when you're prototyping, you need to focus more on the functionality, not on the aesthetics. Okay, functionality is more important. A prototype is where you actually demonstrate how your idea looks like, how your idea works, right? So I don't really, when I take this idea of this based system, I don't really have to put this entire thing in a box or maybe a beautiful 3D printed one or in a case. Okay, I have to first make sure when I click on the keypad, when I press the right buttons, right password, it should open. There should be some text on the LED. So if this is my primary functionality, I have to focus more on the functionality, not on the aesthetics. So keep this in mind. And then, for few systems which are where there are motors, okay, you want to move some parts, okay, a servo motor or maybe stepper motor, whatever you are going to do, you need to do right calculations. At graduation level, all we do is just, we'll go by trial and error. We'll just move it and check. But that is not how it is. There are plenty of simulation softwares you use for calculations, starting from the MathCAD. Okay, you have plenty of softwares out there for calculations and simulations, starting even MATLAB does it. So look for something like that, and do the calculations right. Okay, because you should not just build something to show. Okay, you should build something that will that is scalable and that is durable. Okay, so calculations of all these things really matter. And then you need to learn this term called value engineering. Value engineering is all about how do you actually reduce the price of your product or your whatever components you have without compromising on the quality. How do you reduce the cost by looking at low cost alternatives? So if you can actually learn this and implement from the college level itself, when you come to the industry, it will be really useful. Because we most of the people, as I mentioned earlier, Google Glass, where they have come up with a very good idea, very good product, but it's costly. When no one will buy, it's not useful to anyone, when no user is going to use, right? So if you can actually incorporate this value engineering, okay, in from your prototype stage, your college level itself, it will be really helpful. Okay, so there are plenty of things left. Namrata, I just wanted to check how much time do you have?
So yeah, take your own time, sir. We are all ready, sir, to hear you.
Okay, fine then. So because I just want to show you a few videos, okay, so that it is more relatable. I'll just end up this in 5 minutes and I'll show you a few videos. Okay, then we'll do the questioning. Okay, so once you have the entire visual, of how a prototype has to be built, what materials, what architecture, what software, how calculations, how you're going to do the simulation and all, you do the prototype. Okay, implementing, that's project specific, whatever you're going to do. But there comes the testing. Testing is the key. That is the most important step in any product life cycle. Whether you're doing a prototype, whether you're going to do a commercial product out there, testing is the key. Okay, and the main thing here is there are two types. One is functional testing, second is usability testing. Functional testing is where you build the product or build, you create a prototype of your system. Say for example, the same thing, a keypad based system. Okay, where you'll click the right password, you'll get a right text. When you click the wrong password, you'll say invalid password. So this is the primary functionality, right? So functionality testing is different. Now the usability testing is where the end user will actually use your system. Okay, suppose Namrata has built this keypad based system and she want to put it in our office. Okay, now I become the end user, she becomes the product developer, right? So now what I'll do is, you need to test it with me. Your perspective might be different. You might feel it comfortable, but I might not feel it comfortable, right? So whenever you build your prototypes or maybe your products, the two most things are, one is the functionality, Second is a usability testing. Okay, so you don't really have to, sometimes go out and do it in the industries. You can do it with your friends also. Whatever projects you take up in TEC, as Navrata mentioned earlier, you have expos and all, right? It may be in robotics club also. Instead of just putting things for expo, when you have your project, okay, prototype, take it to your friends and don't give any info. Okay, just tell how the system works, just hand it over to them and ask them to use it blindly. Just see how they'll use. That will tell you how complicated is your idea, and how, or maybe how easy is the system for them to use. Try that once. So the first thing would be in testing would be creating the test scenarios, right test scenarios. Now, if you look at our product Kalam, the bionic hand, what I was mentioning is the first test would be the finger should close, right? The fingers should close and they should not collide with each other. The fingers should close, only they should be able to hold the object. Fingers should not collide with each other. That was the first test scenario. The second test scenario, say someone is wearing this hand, okay, and they go to the kitchen and they cook something. Okay, this is not in human hand. It won't be having any sensitivity to sense the heat, right? So what's next? So that is one scenario where you have to test this hand. Say suppose a person is trying to cook and if this hand get overheated, what's next? You need to test this hand in that scenario. There is one more scenario where user wants to buy 10 kg vegetables, okay, and he wants to hold that back. Okay, that is one test scenario. So whatever test scenarios you define, they should not be in favor of you. Okay, always have those in favor of the end user. Okay, you leave it to the end user. Think from end user perspective, okay, and define the parameters on what has to be tested. Okay, now say for example, if you are going to build this same project keypad based system, what has to be tested here is, what if user enters wrong password? Scenario one. Scenario two, what if user clicks on 4 to 5 buttons at single time? How will your system respond? Okay, what if some water droplets fall on the LCD screen? Okay, what if there is some wireless device near the Arduino? Will it interfere with any of the signals? Because LCD and this keypad, they communicate over I2C and SPA, right? If you have any other wireless device near this, what is there interference of the signal? Okay, you need to look at those aspects. What if you actually overdrive your motor? What will happen? Okay, what if there is power fluctuation? Say now you have your 9-volt battery, right? What if suddenly the battery goes down? How will the system behave? Now consider a scenario where I have entered right password, but suddenly battery is dead. What will happen? Will the message be displayed, or will the system shut down suddenly, or what will happen? You need to do a proper exception handling, okay, for this. So that is the primary thing. You need to create proper test scenarios considering the end user, how he is going to use. Consider those scenarios and you need to frame the test scenarios. And the second thing is you need to question if the prototype, obviously you need to question whether you have implemented all the features that you have planned earlier. Because what we do is we'll start with 5 to 10 expectations. It may be group project, mini or major. We'll think, okay, we'll build all this. By the time you submit the project report, you'll end up finishing 50 or 60%. This is what happens in most of the scenarios. You'll actually take projects where wires will be hanging, okay, when you go for the external projects also. That is how it happens. Okay, we plan 100% and we end up doing 25, 50, whatever it is, right? You need to question yourself whether you have really done justice, whether you have done implemented all the planned features. If that project is really close to your heart and you really want to take it forward, even though if you have not implemented few features, take it to next level. You can do it in minor project or maybe major project as an improved version. Okay, then the third question you have to answer is, you need to really think about whether you have built the system that works as intended. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, the primary functionality should not be compromised. If what if you prepared this project, okay, where the password is 1234 and I enter the password and the password is valid and it says valid password. Now, this is what Namrata has built and she gave it to me. And what I have done is I entered ABCD. Now, how will the system build? Okay, the password can be digit and letters, right? She forgot that logic and she considered only letters. Now I entered characters. So the system doesn't know what to do. Okay, so you need to consider such scenarios. You need to, clearly define what is the intended functionality of the system, and you need to, cross check each and every time whether you have really achieved that intended functionality or not. And the next one is, how easy is it for the user? Okay, you need to take proper feedback from the user. All this is part of usability testing, where you need to check with him, if it is easy for him, if it is comfortable for him, if it is, all the features are really accessible. Now I'll give you two examples here. When we initially built this product, okay, this particular button, whatever is in, a circular shape here. Oh, this is actually a button. Okay, when we initially built it, there was a switch which is a push button. Basically, it was hard. Every time we wanted to press this, it was actually going inside. Okay, users were not feeling comfortable. Okay, at the same time, this particular battery, okay, it's really bulky. When you put it on your hand, and when you look at the users, they were not feeling comfortable with this. At the same time, if you look at this part, okay, this white color part, earlier this was not there, but when user is wearing this hand, he should not have any rashes or any kind of skin problems here. Okay, because he needs to feel comfortable when he is using something, right? So all these are problem statements. You need to gather this feedback from the user. That is when you meet the user requirements, and when you meet the user requirements, only then you can say that your project is successful, your project or your product, whatever it is. Okay, so just you need to think from these aspects. You need to have a proper questionnaire of how comfortable he is, how one more thing is how accurately is he able to use it. If you take 10 iterations, and if user is able to type or use the keyboard properly for 3-4 times, and sometimes is getting confused, then your system is complex. Simple, break it down. Okay, change the user interface. Okay, there are multiple things. Okay, so that is how it is. Then you need to have ultimately you need to take this satisfaction level. So what happens in industrial projects is, when we do the usability testing, we'll do it on certain parameters like confidence levels, accessibility. And one more thing I wanted to tell you, suppose if you're building a mobile application, okay, and if you're building, say, suppose example of Swiggy. Okay, now in Swiggy you can search the restaurants, you can search the dishes, whatever you want. Okay, and it is easy because once you open the application, there is a search field. Okay, you can search, you can browse the restaurant. What if the application was different, like where you have a contextual menu or right side, and where all the restaurants, everything are hiding inside. Okay, where you have try to compare your Myntra application, where you have many filters. Okay, I want to buy a shirt, which color I want to buy, half sleeves or full sleeves, you want to striped one, checks one, or plain shirt, how do you want to be? Okay, so you have plenty of filters. What if you bring all those filters and put it in Swiggy? You will end up spending 30 minutes in placing one order, right? So everything has to be accessible. So users should be able to find information easily. Okay, so you need to have these kind of things. That is what is called design thinking, user-centric approach. That is what happens in usability testing. So this functional testing is something, partially you people know, but usability testing is something which you really need to know. When you have a project, whatever it is, give it to your friends, ask them to use it. That is where you'll get a right feedback. That is where the innovation starts. Okay, next thing is point number 11 is about the equipment, softwares that you have to use for designs, mobile applications. I wanted to cover those here, but of the scope. But if any of you really want to know about what are the softwares that you have to use to develop mobile application, web applications, or maybe the product designs, electronic embedded systems, or anything, just you can drop me an email. I'll send you those, or maybe I'll forward it to Shruti or Amit. They can help you out. Okay, it's a very big list. Okay, so because when we are in graduation level, somehow we'll figure out a way to do to implement something, but getting the knowledge of these tools, which tool to use, right tool, training, and and all, it's a little bit of hurdles during the graduation stage. Definitely I'll be able to help you out there. And next thing is, I just want to cover this is a small area where say you have a very good idea, and what you have to do is you really need to protect your idea at right stage. At right stage means when you are at ideation phase, you don't really have to patent it, because you won't get it granted once you have a clarity. At least you need to design phase. Design phase comes when you have your idea, when you have done your idea evaluation, when you have your proper market research, then you get a clarity and you have your designs, rough mock-ups, or sketches, block diagrams, or advantages of the system. How is it different and all. That is when you have to protect your idea. You don't really need a prototype for everything. For few, obviously it's required, but you can file utility patents, design patents, copyrights. As Shruti mentioned, few people have already filed, so I don't really want to focus on that much. But design phase is where you really have to focus on your ideas, start patenting them there. And I actually want to tell you few areas where you really want to innovate. Now a few people might be thinking, acha, he's working for a company, he has good experience, he's doing some projects and he's guiding us all this. But the biggest problem that we have is, okay, we don't know where to innovate, we don't know how to come up with ideas. I'm giving you 5 areas where you can come up with some very good ideas. I'll just give you some problem statements. If you can come up with some prototypes for for these problems, definitely we'll be able to take that idea into the market. We'll help you out in the entire process, taking into the market, mentoring and finance and everything. Okay, the first problem statement is healthcare. Okay, nowadays all of us know people are going to a lot of stress, mental disorders, and few people are introverts, they don't like to speak. Can we do something about that? Can you come up with some application or some idea, okay, where you can handle stress levels of people, mental disorders, and can you help introverts? I'll give you one example. So you have an introvert who doesn't want to speak much, or maybe you have someone who undergoes a lot of stress or mental disorders. You can create one application, just like you have chatbots. You have a chatbot, where you have a visual kind, where you have a character there. He or she can speak with that character, share all the emotions. You need to capture the emotions of the user. Okay, you need to create an AI based system, and you can predict what kind of emotions, feelings he is undergoing. Okay, and you should be able to give him some suggestions how to overcome. Okay, this will be like a personal assistant. Okay, where people who really don't want to share their problems with the others people, they can use something like this. So this is one generic idea, but definitely healthcare is something really important, and there are lakhs and lakhs of people out there who have plenty of stress levels and mental disorders. You can work on something like that. And second biggest thing, the challenge, that global problem is data storage. Now that you have your hard disk, you have your pen drives, you have storages everywhere, Facebook, Google, and they have storage centers, but they are ultimately leading to enormous amount of heat, which is again causing global warming and all. But definitely, because of the data that all the applications, users, devices that whatever they are generating, it's going to be very difficult to store the data. Okay, going forward, one example which is really futuristic is DNA computing. If it is new to few of you, I'll just give an overview in a minute. Say you have your grandfather, you have your father. You get few qualities from your father and grandfather, right? How do you get that? It's through DNA, right? Genes. So if qualities can be transferred from one generation to other, it means quality is a kind of data, right? So if it can be transferred from one generation to other generation, can't some data be stored in that genes or DNA? That is what people are really focusing now. China and also many research institutes from US are working on this. They are trying to store data in DNA. Okay, and what they feel is in 1 gram of DNA they can store what, at least some hexabytes or petabytes of data. Okay, so if you take few molecules of DNA, you can actually store the entire data in the world. That is how it is. So those are something futuristic, but that is one example. And the problem statement here is a global problem. Alternate ways of storing data is one thing. Okay, and the third one is sanitation and hygiene. Now it's COVID and it's airborne, it's spreading rapidly. What if there are diseases in future which spread through water or food? You cannot skip water, right? If it is through air, you can at least wear a mask. And all the people cannot have water filters at their home. So how will you handle a few diseases that spread through water and food? Can you come up with some solutions? So this is third problem statement. And fourth is, early detection of diseases. Just like we have scanners everywhere in the shopping malls, wherever you go, you have scanners, right? What if you integrate few cameras, few sensors in those itself, which can actually continuously scan and, tell you if something is wrong. Early prediction of diseases. If you can do something like that, that will be great. And if you can, create handheld devices. And fourth one, when I was going through the poster that Amit sir sent, I got this idea. After this meeting, all the people who are joining this session, it was mentioned that they are going to get e-certificates, right? Okay, the certificates, you'll have the name on it. What if you automate this? Now it's online. Say if this was a session that happened in admin hall, okay, how would have been? What I'm trying to say is, say if you have a camera, if you have a proper system there, okay, which can track who are all the users who are entering the admin hall, okay, what are their email IDs, and all the people who attended the session, automatically, what if you have a system that can send certificates to their mail IDs with their name or with their email ID on something like that? All these things, if you look at, they have one thing in common. Some or the other way, they're addressing a problem in the society, or some or the other way, they are trying to reduce human effort. Okay, they are trying to make a better world. Okay, so that is how it is, with respect to ideas, and how you make, how to turn your ideas into prototypes. Okay, so it's 4 step. Have a right idea, evaluate your idea, have a proper market research, okay, validate it, and then do a proper design, and then prototype it. Yeah. So Namrata, I would like to take a question. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll try to share the screen also.
Yes.
I'll go to videos.
So is there any question? I think I asked already to post your question in chat box. Any question? So,
Or they
Chanakya,
can
students,
unmute
what's your
and
mail
ask,
ID?
ma'am.
Please share your mail ID in chat box.
Sure. I'll share it. Yeah. Yeah.
Any more questions from student side? Yeah, what should we do if product was released and a long ago and its sales have went down, and now with some good improvements, can we build it directly? How can we access current market potential?
Yeah. So what should we do if a product was long ago and sales have went down, and now with some good improvements, can we build it directly? So when you say build it, so you want to ask if you can actually ramp up the production now, correct? Can you please confirm? Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine then. So if that is the question that you have, see, if let's relate it to the COVID situation how there are plenty of companies out in the market who got badly affected because of COVID, who had to stop the sales. Okay, because those are user centric products, right? So they are somewhere related to the user. It may be their, the lifestyle. Okay, maybe their lifestyle has changed, or income levels went down, or maybe market situations, or whatever might be the reasons, somehow it went down. Okay, and if you really improvements, what is, okay, let me first finish this and then go to that. And if you really think, okay, there is enough potential now, and your question is how to assess current market potential. So the best way to assess your market potential is through your market research. What you need to do is, first you need to find out the necessity in the current market. So you take your target users, categorize them based on certain parameters like different age groups, okay, different areas, financial backgrounds, okay, and education levels and all, okay, have these parameters and conduct a proper survey. That's a way to assess what's the current potential. Okay, if things, because your product, if it is a health product, people, there is always a demand. Say if it is a luxury product, or if it is something like a smartwatch, after a situation like COVID, people really won't be interested to buy luxury products, right? They'll focus more on what is necessary. So the best way out is to, instead of, you won't obviously get much info on the online because it's more practical. So the best way out is to do a proper market research based on parameters. Yeah. Next question. Like building prototypes with very good improvements, how to assess its mark? Is it the same question?
Yeah.
Can you please help me out? Okay, hope I addressed your question. How does it? Yeah, the best way out is end user survey. The more you speak with your customers, the more you know the potential of your business. As simple as it. Even we have met almost around 700 to 800 people. That is how we know, came to know. And one more way is you actually need to finalize your distribution channel. Say if you want to sell your product in the market, how are we going to distribute? If it is a healthcare product, you have to obviously go through the hospitals. So instead, if I cannot really speak with the end users, I'll go and speak with the hospitals. I'll go and speak with the NGOs. I'll speak with the government, all the distribution channels. I'll get the info of what kind of requirement are they having. So that summary will give me, okay, these are the projections. Okay, yeah, we have an idea and gone for patent and doing all the possible ways for prototype programming side. Give us few suggestions for the best way to approach. Yeah, so can you please tell me which kind of project that you want to work on? If you really don't have, you don't really have to disclose the entire thing. What kind of programming are you looking at? Or maybe if you can just share me a brief of what's the idea, I can just give you suggestions.
Any more question, guys?
How to do market research is one question. So market research is actually, all you have to do is, there are ways. One way out to do market research is obviously Googling. Okay, search all the related blogs. Okay, the blogs related to your product, to your customers. Say one example is, I want to build Bluetooth. Say if your product is Bluetooth earphones. Okay, there are already multiple things. But if you want to do assess the market, and if you want to know the market potential, how you have to do is just go online, search all the competitor products, okay, related to your product, okay, which you can compare. What's the potential? What kind of revenues are they having? How many sales are they making in an year? Point number one, competitor product. Point number two is speaking with your customers, okay, on what are their requirements, okay, what are their expectations, what challenges are they facing, and how much is their necessity. Okay, is second way, that is speaking with your customers. And third is speaking with the industry experts, okay, who are somewhere related to that domain, will actually give you a lot of insights related to your research or the idea. So these are the three major areas. So, sir, we are working on one idea named Connector, and we recently got patent for the idea. It's big, so what we have to do that. So next thing, if you really have the patent, I'm assuming whether it is a design patent or a utility patent, if you really have the prototype, okay, the next level is, from prototype to taking it to the market, you need to actually look at the compliance aspects. What happens is you cannot actually build a mobile phone and, launch it into the market. There are few things like, you need to question, is it an electronic product, electromechanical product, or pure mechanical product? You need to think from those aspects, because if it is an electronic product which involves certain battery, okay, battery operated device, and if it has certain circuitry inside it, okay, you need certain approvals from authorities. There are proper laboratories in Hyderabad and across the country which can actually test your product. So for your question, the first one is you need to check what are all the regulatory requirements or the testing requirements for your product. That's your first step. Second step is you need to send your product for testing, and you need to get your product tested in the laboratories. There are plenty of laboratories based out of Hyderabad and Bangalore. Once you have the test certificates, third thing is you apply for something like a CE mark, okay, which we have done even for our product, or you have to apply for license from government. Okay, so once you get the license, or once you get you have the certification for the product, you can actually launch it. So these are the major steps. You need to look at the regulatory compliance, you need to test your product, get the license, and launch it. Hello, Namrata.
Yeah, I'm there. So now Shruti is up. So I hope Chanakya satisfied queries of all yours. And yeah, Chanak, thank you for this wonderful session. And
Yeah, thank you.
really, you have given such a wonderful explore for prototype designing and how can they convert their idea to prototype and how can they go for market research. It's really needed for Trinity students. So from entire Trinity, many thanks to you. And definitely,
It's my pleasure.
we'll
Yeah.
arrange if the things will get normal. We'll arrange some offline session with you. And it's really a wonderful session. Namrata, are you
ma'am.
available?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, over to you, Namrata.
Yes, sir. Thank you for attending, sir. Like we actually don't have anything to present right now because it's an online session. So we have all our gratitude for
That's
you.
okay.
And students, thanks a lot. So please share
And
your contact.
can you see my screen?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Can you see the video?
No, sir. Video is not visible.
Why not in video? It's not allowing video. Okay, fine. Yeah, please.
సాయంత్రం రమ్మంటారు ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎంటర్ చూడు
Okay. Yeah, Namrata, do you have anything else to say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So like, can you try sharing it again, sir? Like,
Yeah, I'm just doing it. Just give me 2 minutes, okay? It's just says that there are plenty of windows, overlapping windows. Just give me 2 minutes, okay?
yes, sir. Sure, sir.
While you can speak with other people and gather questions.
Yes, sir. Guys, please post your doubts in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask. And please fill the attendance form. I'll be posting it within a couple of seconds.
Yeah, can you see this video?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So this is one of the products that we have worked on. So I'll show you, how a prototype should look. It should not be like, something that where wires, just they hang. Okay. So this is one product that we have in free time. This is a brain control wheelchair I was telling you about. Okay. She has a headset here. She's wearing a headset. Okay. And she is thinking that, okay, I have to move forward. And the wheelchair is actually moving forward. When she thinks I want to move backward, it moves backward. Okay, so this is one of the prototypes that we have done. If you look at the backside of it, there are plenty of wires that are hanging and all. It really doesn't matter. What matters is the functionality. Okay, but the presentation also has to be definitely better. We cannot just get something, we cannot put a dummy wheelchair. What I'm trying to say is you have those wires and everything hanging, that's okay. But if you do it with a real world person, that's a different story. But if you do the same thing with a dummy chair, a small toy chair, that's a different story. There is no practicality there. You won't face much challenges. If you do if you do something like this, where you do it on real world people, okay, you will face a lot of challenges, and that is how you learn. So that is what I wanted to say. Yeah, so this is one interesting project. If one of you are interested, you can take it up and start working on it. It's a brain controlled wheelchair that we have worked on. So further, can you say this?
Yes, sir.
Can you say this is a humanoid robot that we have done? Okay, it's an open source project that we have done during free time. This is also one of the prototype. I'm just showing you how prototypes have to be, and just check what you are working with, right? It can speak. It is integrated with all the Google APIs. So one thing to say is everything in this is 3D printed. Okay, people who already has done projects, you can you might be knowing this. All we have used in this is servo motors, 20-30 plus servo motors. Okay, industrial grade 3D printing. These are the only two things we have done, nothing else. And brain to put the designs in place. That's it. Can't you really do something like this? It's possible, right? And everything that we have procured, everything that we have used for this are procured from Hyderabad. So, Namrata, can you please confirm? Can you see this video? A
Yes,
person,
sir.
this robot. So,
But it's
you
not
know,
audible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what that person is doing is he's trying to speak with the robot and he's asking questions. Who's the prime minister of the country? So it pings the internet. Okay, it gathers all the. It is actually answering. So I'll forward all these things, but that is how we have done few prototypes, and then I'll share a couple other things. So can you see this lady using hand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you might have seen the images that I have shown you on the website, right? Of the bionic hand. They were looking classy and little futuristic, right?
Yeah, sir.
If you look at the first prototype that we have worked on, this is how it is. 2.5 years back, this is how our prototype was. So what I'm trying to convey is when you work on a prototype, okay, it might not look good. That's okay. People judge you. That's okay. All you have to focus on is the technicality of it, okay, how well it works and how we are going to use it. Now the same thing, same product, if we had just built it and if we have used it with our, it's a different story. But doing a proper usability testing is different story, because that is how lot of challenges involved and you'll make the product. So this was the first prototype. Okay, that is. And yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead. I'll try to show you a few images.
Namrata, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
You see this image, image of the hand?
Yeah, sir.
When we wanted to do a product like this, we started first analyzing, how human hand looks, because that actually gave a very good foundation for our final product, how the bionic hand looks. So how you can relate to your thing is when you have an idea, best way out is start doing some sketches. Whether you might not be the best artist in the, okay, even very bad at it, all you have to do is put whatever you have in your brain, visualize them. That is how you convey your ideas to others. Start expressing, get right feedbacks. Early feedbacks are the crucial ones to make your idea and to make your product better. Okay, so these are some sketches. And so also, can you see the screen, Namrata? Can you please confirm? Can you
Yes, sir.
things that are sticked on the wall? Someone
Yes,
who there was someone who actually asked about the market research. If you see these charts and everything, all these are the competitor analysis, the competitor products, starting from what other students, researchers have done to what the commercial products are in the market. We have them on the walls and we look at them each and every minute. Okay, that is how the product is, that is what is lacking, and we have to build something better than this. That will actually drive you every moment. So I suggest you also, when you have this ideation, when you have this with your team, when you work on the prototype, always keep in mind that your product is not the best. Okay, you should make it the best. The only way to make that best is always need to keep yourself updated with what is out there in the market. Okay, compare your idea with others idea. Always try to make put your efforts in making it better. You can do something like this. All these are design thinking. And during the explanation I was telling you about getting the reviews, early feedbacks from peer, from experts and all, right? This is one scenario where we met all the doctors in Hyderabad and in the country, and we took their feedback about the hand. That is how we improved our product. If you cannot really meet end users and get the feedback, what I suggest you is showcase it to your users or maybe your friends. Get the feedback. Okay, and can you see this picture of this robot with 5 people
yes,
here?
sir.
So those 2 people are foreigners, and the one standing towards right, he was heading Yahoo. He was vice president at Yahoo. He visited us. Okay, many people visited us, and the other people who are in the picture are Srinidhi people. They are the interns whom we took 2 years back, and they have built this in 6 months. All three are interns from Srinidhi, second and third year people. So this says a lot. People like you, okay, who are interns, who are not having much exposure, much knowledge, they did something like this because they wanted to ideate, they wanted to innovate, they really didn't wanted to stop where they were. Okay, they wanted to do something different, and they came out and they did something. Okay, and if you can see this picture where on the board there are sketches, right? So that is what our mood board is. When that is how we ideate, not just we. When I say we, it's not just our company or myself, it's how the industries work. I'm trying to say how the design process, how the ideation, how the prototyping happens outside in all companies. Yeah, so if can you see this white color hand, Namrata?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is not even a prototype, not even a functional model. This is the first thing we have built. Once we got the idea on how to build that one, figured out, once we validated that, okay, we want to build a hand. Okay, once we had the sketches, we have designed it in Autodesk Fusion, okay, SolidWorks, and we just printed this. No functionality, nothing, but we gave a visual appearance. So what I suggest you is, once you have an idea, once you have a proper reviews, once we figure out, okay, this is what I'm going to work on, put those designs into sketches, convert those sketches into visual models. Okay, paper prototyping on maybe experimental materials like plastic, and then comes your actual functional model, because you cannot do a functional model directly. You need to first define the boundaries and the features. So these are a few things that I wanted to show, Namrata. So any other questions? I'm open.
Please share your email ID in the chat box, sir.
I think I already shared it. Okay, let me share it again. Hold on. So one thing you have to keep in mind is, once you have the ideas and the prototypes, okay, what I would suggest is, to figure out what's next. Okay, maybe I'll speak with Amit sir. If it is really possible, we'll have maybe a discussion on how to convert this prototype into a real world market. That's completely a different ball game altogether. But what is my personal suggestion is, when I was like you in the college, I have done almost 20 to 25 projects when I was in graduation. Okay, the reason why I could do so much is, I was spending more time with my seniors, my super seniors, and I was spending most of my time in the lab with the professors, assistant professors and all, where I used to take some lessons from their experience. Basically, that is how I always kept myself updated, and it was actually a good thing that with help of Amit sir and all the people from DRDO and many other people whom we met, what we figured out is, there was one incident during this stage where I was doing R&D projects in the college. There was this person, Mukesh from Technolexis, who was a friend of Amit sir. So I was actually trying to apply for Intel and other companies, okay, with the experience that I had. And because I'm from ECM, right, electronics and computers, I thought I'm more interested in electronics, so I will go with that. Then those people, they only hire from premium institutes, NITs and IITs. Then I thought, after doing all these projects, or maybe after having that passion, I'm getting stuck here, I want to do something different. Then this person, he just asked me question, why do you really want to join Intel? Why don't you start your own Intel? Okay, that triggered a lot, and that is when I felt, and when I met Pranav, who is a student of Abdul Kalam sir, hundreds of people, very good brains, they are going out of the country. They are going to Canada, US and other country, and they are innovating there. If everyone does it, who will be in India and who will solve problems in the country? So that's the biggest question I had, and I'm giving it to you also. If you also, it's again personal, but what I'm trying to say is, if you have that mindset of innovating, what I suggest you is start looking at your family, your house, and your society. The Hyderabad. Try to solve problems here. If everyone think that way, maybe all the great people like Abdul Kalam sir and other people, whatever they have imagined, maybe by 2030 or 2040, we'll be able to achieve that kind of world. We'll be self-sustainable and we can do miracles here. So that is what is my personal suggestion. And one thing is, you have everything at your doorsteps. 10 years, 15 years back, there were no mobile phones and nothing, but now you have Google. If you ask how to eat, Google will answer. If you ask, what to eat, Google will answer. If you ask, from where should I get it, the answer, it will answer everything that you want to do. Okay, if you might think, okay, how do I get ideas? Ask Google. Yeah, it will tell you how to do. It will tell you. All you need to do is put some effort in learning. Okay, spend some time on Google and YouTube. And what I would personally suggest is, make Google as your best friend, and YouTube as your girlfriend if you really want. That is how you will success. Okay, Namrata, any other questions? So that's it from my side.
Oh, yes, no other questions, sir. It was an amazing session, an amazing suggestion too.
Yeah. So is Amit sir here? I think he's.
No, sir. Amit sir is not here.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing is, I gave you 5 areas to
Yes,
innovate.
sir.
If any of you can really come up with some good ideas there, or maybe prototypes, definitely we'll be able to help you out in taking that into the market. We'll definitely mentor you, and will possibly look for collaboration, and if required, we'll definitely fund you. I tried a lot to come to college in last 1.5 year, but again, it's because of COVID. But once things settles, I'll definitely come and meet all of you at TEC and the Innovation Club.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.